This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam in for Tori. You doing good over there, Erica?
Yeah.
Little
I am. I had to just.
Erica, you look like you just broke something because you're like, what? What's up?
Well, I had this bottle sitting here, so I just moved it down.
It's not just a bottle, it's a Topo Chico.
Well, I wasn't going to say that because they don't give us money.
Okay. Fix it, Topo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this because it is going to affect all of us. If you love TV and movies, like all of us, well, you better get ready for some of your favorites to go dark, at least for a while. This morning, the Actors Union, known as SAG-AFTRA, will vote on whether or not they will go on strike. This comes as negotiations with Hollywood studios collapsed last night with no new contract. Actors could soon be joining Hollywood writers who have already been on strike for more than 70 days. Some of the biggest issues for both unions include higher wages, residuals from streaming services, and protection from AI. Some of your favorite A-list celebrities will be joining the picket line, including Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, Mark Ruffalo, and more. So what do you think of this strike and the fact that both sides were unable to make an agreement? What does that tell you, Al?
I think we're in for a long strike, sadly. I think because we're not, I think we get caught up in the immediacy of the moment. We want to see an end to the strikes so we can get our favorite shows back. But Erica, we're talking about really looking off into the horizon of a new way to consume entertainment, to consume media. And people, the decisions made now in terms of contracts will have ripple effects long after these actors have aged out. And I think the studios are aware of that. And they see these actors come and go, and they still sit in these same seats. So what incentive do they have to move quickly? Because they're like, I'm good. I have 3 summer homes, so I'll wait for you to get hungry.
Right, and yeah, waiting people out and it being a numbers game. I will respond to that before we talk about how that's going to affect us, the consumers, the viewers, because one interesting dynamic that people may not be thinking about is actors, writers, industry professionals have kind of had a boot camp for what it means when you think that your industry is going away, for what it means when you cannot physically work. Because COVID, no one knew what was happening. So I'm very curious to see how different this strike could potentially be on the side of the average working person, which is what the studio is looking at. Like, well, okay, how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to take care of your family? And it's like, well, for 2 years we had to figure that out because we couldn't rely on y'all anyway because of the state of the world. But in terms of the people at home, because I know a lot of people, we have these conversations and people are like, oh, everybody on TV is a cajillionaire. They can cry into their big bag of money. And it's a 1% game like anything else in this world. So there's a very small percentage of people who are going to be like, okay, yeah, I could hold out forever if I really needed to.
Very small percentage.
Very small percentage.
I'm glad you brought that up really quickly because there's 160,000 members in SAG-AFTRA. 160,000 members. And there's only, what, 50 to 100 really big A-list stars out there. So you do that math, to Erica's point, and the bulk majority of actors who are already probably in a gig economy, all the actors that I know, and you probably recognize their faces, still have to waitress, still have to be a server. So for a lot of them, they're not going to be able to wait it out. I don't know if they're going to be able to. And what you're both referring to, there's a Deadline article out there that showed a lot of industry insiders, executives at these studios that are essentially anonymously becoming whistleblowers saying this is what's happening over here. They're going to wait them out. They're going to smoke them out until they can't pay their rent or their mortgages so that they have to settle. That's what's happening. I just think it's really alarming, but I do want to get the other side. This is the other side, and then please respond. This is the statement from the producers and studios to the union. They are saying, this is not our choice. This is the union's choice. In doing so, they have dismissed our offer of historic pay and residual increases, substantially higher caps on pension and health contributions. Obviously, it's all about streaming now, right? And I think that's why the actors, I mean, there hasn't been a strike, a writer an actor strike, so the whole industry shutting down for 63 years.
Right, but we do have something that kind of models this. We've seen it in sports strikes, and again, the same thought. These athletes have so much money, but a lot of them do not. Your brother had a cup of coffee in the NFL. A lot of careers are 2 or 3 years,
right?
And they understand that a lot of these players are living check to check. A lot of these actors are living check to check. But the public's idea of what's happening is these greedy actors. But no one ever thinks about who signs those checks.
Right.
The people that are up in that owner's box own Carnival Cruise Lines and things like that. So they have this incredible power of leverage, and I worry about that word historic, because whatever the first offering is on a streaming contract would be historic. So I could offer you $5 and that's historic because there's never been anything. So watch that kind of language, because I think there's a lot of coded language in terms of trying to shift the public's perspective to make them think that the actors and writers are lazy and entitled.
Or also that it doesn't affect them. But it does, because as we've mentioned a million times, entertainment rules the world, but it also was our comfort blanket for 2 years when we were pretty much shut down. So big title films who have just returned to the movie theaters are now being, production is being shut down, it's being slowed. So Marvel films, for instance, audience may not notice until next year, but you're going to notice that some of these movies are either delayed, they're being shut down. The rise of reality television. Now, for those of you who love reality, this may be something that you're like, well, whatever. But a lot of people like their scripted. They want their dramas and their comedies. And these productions are going to be coming to a halt. That means that your favorite shows that you've been waiting for the big premiere date is not going to be there on its big premiere date and can be delayed for another year or so.
Right, and think about the television shows that shaped all of us growing up, the scripted shows, right? And you think about the kids today who might be diehard Wednesday Addams fans or whatever it may be. Those kids suffer too. Those teenagers suffer too. So even
and those kids will move on to other forms of entertainment, so they have to worry about that as well.
YouTube and
that's right. There's another game in town.
Slippery slope. And what about all the movie theaters who are just now recovering from COVID? This is going to impact them and the people that work at movie theaters. So it impacts so much more.
And also a lot of those actors were out of work during COVID as well. So does that weaken their ability to have any kind of holding power if you're just getting back on your feet after 2.5 years of making zero income?
Yeah.
You made a great point, Erica.
Oh, okay, well, coming up on DBL, our interview with Knots Landing star Donna Mills. Will there be a cast reunion? And we're talking all about the ESPYs, from Damar Hamlin's emotional moment to LeBron's big announcement.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm going to have a conversation about what's happening now.
Hello.
But you don't know, right?
I kind of wanted to ask you, actually, if for you, Taylor, do you mind if?
Right.
Okay, so you hear Taylor's voice.
Do you think more likely than not they'll go this way? Sorry.
I don't want to interrupt their conversation. But Taylor, you are early 20s, right? 24. What do you gravitate more towards, scripted, or do you gravitate more towards reality? Just curious. Or are you both? Okay, but you do watch scripted shows. Okay. And would you be devastated if, like, your favorite script? Because a lot of people that I've been reading will say, oh, you know, young 20-somethings and under today don't even watch scripted, so it doesn't matter. I would argue that's not true. Yeah.
LeBron would never go to the worst team in the league at the end of his career.
Right, but so am I. But then I watch scripted, you watch scripted. Right. I agree. Me too. Right. So if you heard Taylor, that's a great point. It's too much reality TV, to Erica's point, YouTube, all of that. I don't know what it is. It gives me anxiety. There's not, I mean, there's a reason why writers should be paid what they get paid, because there's a lot of talent and thoughtfulness and things that go into these beautiful arcs, right? And it is an artistry, and it does enhance your day-to-day, just like music does. I mean, it's physically, through science, proven that certain chords in music elevate your well-being. Just like when Darth Vader comes in, it's really like dark sounds that makes you feel dark and scary. So I do think that there's an emotional, mental component too if we're just stuck watching reality TV and YouTube for the next few years. So it's more than just, yes, balance. Yeah. Hey, Sam.
Open a Lamborghini, hoping the packer see me like, look at that pack of Weezy, he's a beast. Wait up, no, you know that I'm a problem. Okay, you're a go. What's a go to a goblin? Nothing. You ain't scaring nothing. I want my NIL, so I'm
Woo, welcome back. That was Lil Wayne performing a version of his song, A Milli, at the ESPYs, and hamming it up with Travis Kelce. Am I saying that right? Kelce? Travis
Yes.
Kelce? Okay, I don't know athletes very much. From the Kansas City Chiefs. I know Lil Wayne. I don't know Travis Kelce. Sorry. Speaking of the Super Bowl champs, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes
I'm
took
wearing that
home.
tomorrow.
You are?
Yes.
Al, I'm going to hold you to it. Albert's
Ebony,
wearing
get
that
on it.
tomorrow. Ebony, Wardrobe Ebony, took home the Best Men's Sports Athlete Award, and Skyer Michaela Schifrin, skier. Sorry, I thought that was a name.
I read Skyer too.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I'd have been
Skier.
all over you, but I read Skyer
Thank
too.
you.
I got to be honest.
Skier Michaela Schifrin, who I do know, won her 87th World Cup race in March. She picked up the top women's athlete ESPY, well-deserved, but all eyes were on Damar Hamlin, who was moved to tears on stage after receiving a standing ovation. The Buffalo Bills player broke down again when he presented an award to the Bills training staff for helping save his life after, of course, he went into cardiac arrest on the field in January. Also, LeBron James received the award for best record-breaking performance and gave an update on his plans to retire. Watch.
The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game? The day I can't give the game everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today.
He's really funny. LeBron has said he wants to hang on in order to play with his son in the NBA. All right, we all know that you're a big LeBron fan.
Yes.
Jumping off point, but please speak about LeBron if you want to, but jumping off point, what do you think about playing with your kid or allowing, a lot of people brought up if he plays with his kid, is he going to be fair? When you play any game with your children, do you let them win? Do you, no, okay, talk to me.
Absolutely. No, I go hard when we play anything. Like there's nothing's coming easy, Erica. I mean, I grew up playing my grandmother in Monopoly when my mom was in grad school, and I've told you it's one of the biggest shames of my life. I got caught cheating my grandmother. She was killing me every weekend, Erica. I panicked, and I put some money in I put some Monopoly money in the cabinet of the guest bathroom, and I would go upstairs when she would clean me out and come back down with a couple $100.
She knew. She knew.
She did.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course
absolutely.
she did.
It's embarrassing. What about you?
Well, actually, that was one of the conversations that my nieces and nephews on my side are very young. The oldest one is 7. So I had a conversation with one of my nieces or nephews. I won't call them out, but we were playing a game, a board game. They were about 4, and I did not let this person win, and they were very upset about it, and they threw a fit, and it was a big hissy fit, and I just looked at them, and they looked at me, and they continued to cry, and I said, you can keep crying. You don't live here. Because they were at my house. I'm like, you don't live here, so you can be mad at me.
Right.
Okay?
And you don't.
I don't care.
I think
you do that to your parents. You don't do that to
Erica.
me.
Well, you don't want to be, produce a sore loser.
Exactly.
So it's good that you're showing
I was
them
like,
this.
everything was cool, and then all of a sudden you gonna flip the board on my kitchen table? On No, baby.
No.
That's not how we work over at Auntie Erica's, okay?
I think you need that fire, Erica. I like that board flipping.
Yeah,
Now,
but you also need to know
that
that you're not going to be coddled with us. You're not going to get coddled.
If Sophie came in last place and she was like, Mom, I don't care, that's great, you'd be like, wonderful.
Last place is different when you're like competing in a race, in my opinion. When you're playing a board game with your loved one and then you're flipping over boards.
Competition's competition.
I know, but
you're
need to
a
learn
D1 swimmer, Sam. Come on, you got it. Don't be.
No,
you're trying to hide it like Peter Parker. We know what's inside of you.
Okay.
It was a good lesson. That never happened again.
Yeah, exactly. Good job.
The Powerball jackpot is more than $700 million. The prize is now the 7th largest in Powerball history. That's got people racing to buy tickets, but as you try to get rich quick, be careful because scammers may be trying to get rich off of you. Let's verify. Are there lottery scams around large jackpots like the one in Powerball? Our sources are Mega Millions, Powerball, the Better Business Bureau, and the Federal Trade Commission. Scammers have a history of targeting people who play lottery games, including Mega Millions and Powerball. On its website, Mega Millions warns of one particular tactic, a phone call, text, or email informing that you've won and asking for either payment or your personal information to claim the prize. And you don't have to buy a ticket to be scammed. Mega Millions also warns scammers could claim to be past winners looking to share their money in exchange for information. Both Mega Millions and Powerball say they do not reach out to prize winners. The FTC and the Better Business Bureau say signs of a scam include being asked for personal information or to send money to pay fees or taxes on the prize. So, yes, there are lottery scams, particularly around large jackpots like Powerball. Our sources recommend contacting your state's Attorney General and the FTC if you think you've been scammed. You can report scams to the FTC by going to reportfraud.ftc.gov. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
Welcome back. She was the scheming, manipulative vixen Abby Cunningham on Knots Landing, and now she's a vicious grandmother in a Lifetime limited series. Earlier, we caught up with the one and only Donna Mills. Check it out. Donna Mills, welcome to DBL. What an honor. Okay, so Donna, you played villainous Abby Cunningham, of course, in Knots Landing, and now you're the wicked grandmother in Lifetime's limited series VC Andrews Dawn. So what is it about villain roles that you absolutely love to play?
You get to do stuff you wouldn't do in your own life. You get to be mean to people. You get to hurt people. You get to win. The villain wins a lot. So it's fun. It's really, really fun. It's much more fun than playing the victim.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the mischief without the real life consequences. I love it. Okay. Donna, I also love your hair. It always looks amazing. And in this series, yes, girl, your character Lillian Cutler has white hair. So what did you think about this look on you?
I like it. I use it sometimes because I think it's a good look. I don't like gray hair, but I like white hair. I think white hair is very, stunning and nice. So I use it sometimes.
Unfortunately, I have gray hair.
But on a guy, it's a different story.
Well, thank you very much. So speaking of looks, check this out. Your Knots Landing co-star Michelle Lee was on our show about 2 years ago and had this to say about you and Joe Van Ark. Check this out.
I talked to them 2 days ago on a Zoom, the three of us. I looked better than the two of them.
That's all that matters.
Wow.
That's Michelle. That's her. Oh, she's crazy. They're both crazy. Both her and Joan. I'm the same one.
Got it.
We saw that the cast of Dallas recently reunited for their 45th anniversary. Now tell us, could we possibly see a Knots Landing reunion for your 45th?
Please.
Boy, you know, I would love that. Fans ask all the time, why isn't it streaming? Why don't you do a reunion? Why don't you do a reboot? Why don't you do? If I knew, if it were up to me, we would. Unfortunately, it's not up to me. I don't own the show. Warner Brothers owns the show. Write them, call them. I think everybody that was on Knots would love to go back and do a reboot. I have a whole idea for where Abby is now, what's going on with her. So she's homeless.
She is?
Oh. How did she get there?
Can we please have Warner Brothers and Donna work this out, okay? It's long overdue.
Yeah, now I have to know. I have to know what happened.
I'm gonna call Warner Brothers right now.
Okay. Yes.
That's a pizza place here in Denver.
Exactly, Warner's Pizza. Okay, so speaking of anniversaries, Grease also recently celebrated its 45th anniversary, and we heard that you actually inspired one of the main characters. Is this true?
It is. And I didn't know it. I didn't know it at the time. I was the model for Sandy.
Wow.
Jim Jacobs went to Taft High School, and he created Grease back then. He was thinking about it back then, and I was the person that he modeled Sandy after. Wow. I had no idea about it until another friend who was in our class was doing they did a biography on me, and they talked to old friends and old classmates and stuff like that, and he said so on the interview. He said, "Oh yeah, Jim Jacobs modeled Sandy after Donna," and I was like, "What? Really?"
It was so great speaking with you today. To our viewers, you can watch Donna Mills as cruel grandmother Lillian Cutler on the Lifetime Limited series VC Andrews Dawn this Saturday, July 15th, starting at 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you again, Donna. We'll be right back.
Thanks,
congratulations.
Thank you.
For many of us, a trip to the amusement park isn't complete without a ride on a roller coaster. But two recent incidents have people questioning their safety. In June, a popular roller coaster at Carowinds in North Carolina was shut down after a crack was found in a support beam. And 2 days later, a roller coaster at a festival in Wisconsin malfunctioned, leaving passengers on the coaster upside down for several hours. That's led some people to wonder, who's responsible for making sure roller coasters are actually safe? So let's verify. Are roller coasters federally regulated? Our sources are the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, Amusement Ride Injury Lawyer, American National Standards Institute, Safer Parks, a nonprofit founded to help prevent amusement ride accidents, and Carolyn McLean, a consultant and public relations strategist with the amusement park industry. The short answer here is no. There is no federal agency or laws that are in place to oversee amusement parks and their rides, whether they're at a permanent location or at a traveling carnival. But that doesn't mean there isn't any oversight. According to the Amusement Ride Injury Lawyer, a law firm that handles cases related to amusement park injuries, it's up to the states to decide how to regulate the rides. The International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions says 44 of the 50 U.S. states do have regulations for parks and rides in fixed locations, like Six Flags, Cedar Point, and Disney World. Carolyn McLean, an amusement park consultant, says state regulators typically come and inspect the rides just before the park opens for a new season each year. So, what kind of safety guidelines are in place for roller coasters? Many amusement parks choose to follow a set of design and safety standards established by the American National Standards Institute. Safer Parks says 35 states reference ANSI's standards in their park regulations. But according to McLean, the responsibility to keep rides safe falls on the park itself. She says each roller coaster comes with its own manual and manufacturer's guidelines.
It's the park's responsibility to open that up and know every word backwards and forwards so that every single day when they do their daily operations, that manual is being followed.
So we can verify, no, roller coasters aren't federally regulated. But authorities in most states oversee the safety of amusement park and carnival rides. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
The ban on carry-on liquids could be lifted in the near future. Let's connect the dots. Since 2006, the TSA has required all liquids in your carry-on luggage to be 3.4 ounces or less. The ban was put in place after British authorities stopped a plan to blow up a U.S.-bound plane with liquid explosives. There's now technology that makes the ban unnecessary. The Concorde Airport, just one of several airports now using X-ray scanners that use CT technology to give guards a 3D image of your carry-on. The United Kingdom, which has also installed the new scanners, has already announced it will be easing its liquid ban next year, allowing passengers to bring up to 2 liters through security. But according to experts, the U.S. will take it slow when making any security changes. But the days of buying overpriced water past airport security could be coming to an end in the next few years. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
All right, Erica, what do you have for us today?
Well, I'm glad that you asked, Big Jeff and DBL Nation. We're so excited to show you all of these deals today, and believe me, we've got some great ones for you. So first up, we've got the Clarissa Anti-Theft Phone Holder Crossbody Bag. Now, you know I love a bag, and this deal includes 1 crossbody bag available in 8 colors. Now, normally, this is $49, but today, Jeff, we got it for $17.99. That's a savings of up to 63%.
All right, I love it. What do we got next?
Next up, we've got the 4-pack bar 340 by Cambridge 18-ounce highball tumblers. Now, this deal includes 4 tumblers available in 2 color sets. So normally this is $88, but we've got this 4-pack for $20. That's a savings of up to 77%. With 4 in the set, you can share with your friends in your backyard or Big Jeff at that community pool. Now, speaking of having drinks in the backyard, let's just have a meal. We have the Fortessa Zero 42-piece flatware set. This deal includes 8 dinner forks, dinner knives, soup spoons, teaspoons, and salad forks, and also 1 serving fork and 1 serving spoon. Now, normally this is $150, but we've got it for $39.99. That's a savings of up to 73%. And finally, our last product is the Sleep Mantra Pillow Top Cooling Mattress Topper. You know I like a cooling mattress. This deal includes 1 mattress topper, but it's only available in queen size. Normally, understandably, this is $111, but now we've got it for just $49.99. That's a savings of up to 55%.
All right, Erica, you know I can't argue with that, and you know I like to keep it cool, especially at night.
Exactly. So head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code on screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website.
Our viewers love Donna Mills. Allison says, wow, Donna Mills looks great. I'd love to see a Knots Landing reunion. Me too. Bridget says, Donna plays the vixen role very well. She said that she has more fun doing it. Seems more fun.
Absolutely. I've always said the bad guys more interesting anyway. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show.
Thanks, Erica.
I know.
We need you right now.
What? Oh,
hi, everybody. I kept looking for Erica.